Here's a short video on brake calipers. A friend of mine gave me some spare calipers. Actually, he bought some new ones, and I told him keep his old ones. I can rebuild them. So, a couple of things here. You'll notice that there's a little bit of corrosion on the piston. And, you know, I have this. I bought this tool for about $5 off Alibaba. It's a spreading tool that works pretty well for the caliper. You know, when it slides in, and then you can just undo it. You can just sort of get the idea how it works. It will push the pistons back into the caliper. The thing is, let's say you're going to put some new brake pads on your Stag. As soon as you start to push these pistons back into the caliper, since they are a bit rusty, it's very likely that it's going to destroy the seals. Now this first seal here is just really a dust shield, and it's held in with a metal ring, and the actual seal for the brake is actually sits in a recess. But as you can see, what may happen is that as soon as you start to push that back in, it's gonna potentially rip your seals. Eventually they'll start leaking. So anyway, this is for another Stag that I'm planning to commission at some point. There are new pistons. There are chrome type, and there's also stainless steel type. I was just quickly looking at Rimmer's website today, and there's I'm in US, so there's a $10 difference between the stainless steel version and a chrome version. The chrome one on Rimmer is about $13. The stainless steel one's about $22. So, you know, if you need 4, you know, you're talking about at least a $80-90 difference in price. But it seems like from some of the forum members, they say just go for the stainless steel ones. You can buy, there are new calipers being made. Apparently, I've been told, if I'm not mistaken, this same caliper was used on some period transit vans, and so people are manufacturing them again. Rebuilt ones aren't that new ones aren't that expensive. People take that route. I like to save money and rebuild, so as I said, this is a spare set that was given to me. I'm gonna take the piston at some point. I'll just buy new seals and new pistons and then rebuild them. I will probably take the rust off this. On my other one that I used on my February 71 Stag, I actually put the calipers, I separated the calipers. There is an O-ring seal, actually a bridge seal they call it, that comes in some kits. Some kits don't have it, but I think LD Parts sell that bridge seal separately. So, you know, taking apart is one thing. You don't necessarily have to. I do recall when I took them apart, it was easier for me to put in the new seal and the wiper seal when they were 2 separate halves. But as I said, you don't necessarily need to separate the caliper to do that. Just adding, this is a piston that I pulled out on another pair that I had years ago, and you can see there's, I saved some of the better ones, but you can still see there's a little corrosion on the piston itself. And I think, if not mistaken, there's a line there where the actual original the seal sits, but I can't recall. But you know, I use these for other things, but this is what it looks like when you get it in your hand. Here's a spare caliper without the piston, and to give you some reference, here's a socket. If I put the socket inside the piston to give you some sort of reference, it sort of goes there. It sort of fits pretty much all the way back in. If you offer the socket up to the piston, you'll see it's about the same size. So you know, if you change your pads and you back the pistons back into the caliper, the chances are that you may be going over the rusty area. And there is, I don't know if you can see this, let me get my screwdriver. This is the actual main seal, which is a bit further back, and this one's really just a wiper to keep everything clean. So, you know, if when you push it back, the rusty part goes over this, the chances are it'll start to leak at some point. So just to give you a bit of reference if you want to reuse these or get new ones. And this isn't one of, I said that this is pretty rusty all the way through, so it needs changing. Here's a couple that I was just trying to clean up, but as you can see, there's some rust here. And then this one I pulled out just a bit more. It's nice and clean here, but it's quite rusty, at least I would say. At least more than a quarter of an inch into the piston, so that again will probably rust, you know, probably make the seal leak eventually. So it's a case of probably most likely buying new pistons for these calipers.